you can measure good albums by how it starts and how it finishes, man, and it's just wicked. I mean, the bass on Victims, it's just the song is an all out assault. It's like nothing's left. We're just gonna, we're going for it. We're going for it, and man, it's absolutely wicked. I love it.
Really, really appreciate that, man. I love, that's like definitely like the fastest, most aggressive song.
Oh yeah,
always play, Although I disagreed with Josh on the lyrics, because he's sort of coming out against Faces of Death and so which I guess I agree in some ways. Like, I don't like watching people or animals die for real at all. That's not entertainment to me. So I agree with that. But at the same time, if you want to watch that, you should be able to. If that's what's entertaining, because I know what I like, a lot of people think is absolutely sick and demented. So like, I understand that people are looking at me that way when I'm looking at people. You look at people watching Faces of Death, like, oh, you might have some problems, but if you want to watch someone dive off a building or get eaten by an alligator, I think as American or whatever, you have a right to do that. All that shit got banned. They couldn't even see a lot of those movies for years.
Like, don't forget, Faces of Death lived off that reputation that it was all real, when really at the end it was all mostly staged. Most of it wasn't all.
I was really thankful to find out that monkey brain eating scene was not real, because that traumatized me for a while.
Yeah,
that was rough.
Yeah, I could see that. Just reading between the lines, was that something that was inspiration for the song, though, for Victims? Or because I was kind of, when you're talking, you mentioned it, I'm like, did Josh, like, was it inspired by that, by watching that?
I think, no, I see it's a wider view of that, plus like the talk shows, that were starting to pop up around there, all the Geraldo, like really sensational type of salacious stuff, which was, usually just all like hype and stuff like that. And it's funny how, like, you talk about that and, racist and Nazis on these shows, and like, now it's exactly the same thing, just like turned up even more. Like, no one has tried to curb that shit. No one has changed their minds. If anything, it's like more people are on that trip, and it's it's a sad thing that, like, 35 years ago we're like, man, this is a problem, and no one, not enough people saw that as a problem.